Let's set up a profiles today. We'll look into profiles. Okay. Profiles are the security control area of Salesforce. Like if we want to enforce some security on like what users can able to access, what user can be able to, restricted, what is read only, what is write, and all this stuff can be controlled through profiles. Okay. Before going to profiles, what type of licenses we have? That we can check it out from company information. From company information, we can check what are the licenses that we can available to use. See, generally, right, we have different users, different licenses, which will not be much useful. The useful licenses for our practice or for our learnings is Salesforce platform and Salesforce. Okay, Salesforce and Salesforce. Anyway, yesterday we created one user, but still it's okay. And another profile is Salesforce platform. Okay. Now what I'll do, I'll create one more profile on Salesforce license and one more profile on Salesforce platform. Let's go back to setup, profiles, profiles. No, profile are a security control, like it have all the policies like what is accessible, what is not accessible. We'll create user by selecting profile. User is a person, profile is a policy. Yes. Like now I'll select, you cannot create profile without selecting existing profile. Okay. You need to select the existing profile to create a new profile. So for custom profile, I'll always name custom colon admin, system admin. Okay. And I'll save it. Now what level of access he had? He had all the access what system administrator had, like let's set it. First we'll understand what are the permissions we have. We have page layout permissions, right? And we have field level securities, custom app settings, which app should be available, which app should not be available. You can restrict from profile. Tab settings, which tab should be displayed in the navigation menu. You are getting tabs, right? These are tab settings. Record type settings, which record type should enable, which record type should not be enabled. Let's say for this particular users, I don't want to allow regional. I wanted to allow only national account. I can edit. I can remove this national regional from here. So what happened? Now user can able to get only national record type. So he never asked like which record type he need to create. Now he is only eligible to access only one business type, right? Only national records he can able to create. And AR and all this. These are the record type settings. If you have any record types, it will be available for these objects. For metrics, there is a things. This is provided by Salesforce. We don't need to care about it. And administrative permissions. Administrative permissions is nothing but a user admin permissions, not related to objects, but what are the things that he can able to do at a system level. And then we have general user permissions. What if user wanted to have some privileged access like manage boards and trainings and activate contracts or the other stuff where he wanted to do the things. Okay. Administrative permissions, standard object permissions, read delete, and my employees custom object permissions, right? So if I want to say, yeah, if I want to modify things, let's say if I edit, I can remove the permissions. I can remove the permission. Let's say instead of default on, I'll say override tab. No, I don't need to select. Here if I say tab hidden, then accounts will not be visible for this user. A new user. For now what we'll do, we have like edit all. Oh, sorry, modify all. There is a permission called modify all. Modify all data gives you a privilege. User can do anything. Okay. Modify. This is fine. And I don't want to give view all and modify all also for this user. I'm just removing it, right? So I'm allowing this one. No view all. No. He can, if it is a view all, you cannot control data. You cannot restrict him to access data. He can access everything. Even if he is owning it or if he is not owning it, he can able to access everything. Now I need this user to access only his data, not related to any other customers. If the users are created under this profile, they should see only their data, not to the others' data. Let's say now if I go back, view all and modify is also removed, and I'll say save for now. And here we have another permission, read only. Edit read only fields. Edit read only fields, even if the field is read only, we selected is just a read, but still if the permissions is enabled at a this level, administrative permissions as the edit read only fields, then he can able to do. I think gone. Everything messed up. Okay. I need to do again from starting because I just clicked mouse back button. View all, I just removed it. View all, if you remove, modify all will be disabled on its way. Because without seeing the data, you can't modify data, right? Dependent permissions. Set up profile. Okay, let me save first. Save. So now I have removed all the data, isn't it? Oh, no, I removed, modify data also I need to remove. Sorry. Modify all data I need to take off from administrative permissions. Modify all data which is removed. It's fine then. Because no object is enabled as modify all data, so it by default dependent permission has been removed. Now what I'll do, I'll go to users. This is a object level security, okay? So yesterday we created sales manager, right? And I'll make him as a custom sales profile. Instead of custom sales, I'll say custom system admin, the profile which we created right now. Save. Now what happens? Okay, let's go to login as this user. Does he created any account in Salesforce? No, he haven't created any accounts. Right? Session login. Login as this user. Insufficient privileges. Switch to classic. Some privilege access he got into error. Now let's go back and I'll see all accounts here. In the related list, I'll check all accounts. But he can able to access the accounts, isn't it? But I don't want him to see any accounts if he is not a owner of the record. If he is not a owner of the record, I don't want him to see any record. What we need to do, currently we set up metadata security, right? So object level security and field level security. But now we are talking about data security, isn't it? How data security can be implemented? Does this can be achievable through profiles? No, this is not achievable through profiles. We need to have some settings called organization wide defaults. Organization wide defaults, which is something like a data security setups, which is called data security setups. How can we do that? How can we do that? Go to the setup, and the concept is called sharing rules. The concept is called sharing. Concept is called sharing settings. In sharing settings, edit. There are two things: default internal access, default external access. Okay, internal users are nothing but the people who logs into this environment. They can able to do the daily operations. External environment is something like community users. There is the communities, partners, your vendors, distributors, and all this will consider as a external users. Okay, the person who have a user record within Salesforce with a standard profiles or a custom profile, they will be treated as internal users. If the person is part of communities, there is a concept of community is nothing but collaboration cloud. So they are considered as an external user. For now, we are talking about internal user access. What is the access that a user should have on an account and contact level at organization wide? When I say organization wide, so public read or write in the sense anyone in the system, whoever having account access, they can able to read and write data. So they can able to create and they can able to edit the data, right? And the second option you have public read only. Everyone can able to see the data, but they cannot modify the data. And you can see private itself is saying that it's a restriction. It will not share to anyone else. Okay. Except the authorized users or the owner. Owner in the sense, let's say you are the owner. If I am your boss, do I need to have access to see your data or I should also restrict it to see your data? Why you are saying I should have access? Exactly, that also matter. That is what here it is talking. Grant access using hierarchies. We can define it. So that's also important. Data sharing is also happen through hierarchy. Public, now what happened, accounts and contacts we made it is private. It takes some time to affect the change, reflect the changes, because it need to process the existing records, right? Still it is processing. One or more sharing operation has been initiated. It takes some time. Meanwhile, what we can do, we'll go back to users. We'll go back to users. Login. I don't know why I'm getting that error always. Okay, I logged in. All accounts. I'm not seeing anything now, right? Yep. Now I'll create one more record. I'll say my account and I'll save it. I can able to see this record because it was owned by me, right? Yeah. Now let's log out. We have a concept of roles and hierarchies. Roles and let's refresh. As I mentioned, if it is a role-based hierarchy, it's sharing, then it will share those records, isn't it? In Salesforce, there are two types of securities. One is metadata securities, nothing but object level securities. The other one is data security. Data security need to be achieved through sharing rules, organization wide defaults, roles and hierarchies, teams, and other places, Apex sharing and all this stuff. Okay. Now in CEO, I am assigning to sales manager. Sales manager is the CEO. Okay. And CFO is reporting to whom? Y- Yeah. So then I'm assigning Procodingskills institution is a user that I'm assigning to this one. Yeah. If I go to users, let's go back, users again. Let's say everything every time is a headache. Login, log out, login, log out. Login, refresh. Now you can see why I'm getting it. Boss of the account owner, right? Yeah, that's why we are getting this data. But imagine this way. What if he is not? Yeah, CFO is account admin. Yeah, under CEO for sales manager. I'm under CFO, right? I can see, CEO can see his own records and subordinate records. I can able to see because I am an admin here. I have modify all data permission. I have modify all data permission because this is a, yeah, if it is a end user implementation, yes, you will not be seeing it. Let now what I'll do, I'll edit Procoding Skills Institution role to this to CEO only. Now both are in same hierarchy, right? Now tell me whether the sales manager can able to access this records now. It's not. Profile it doesn't have a modify all permission. Because both users are CEO, now because they are in same level, they should have a same access or they shouldn't be. Yeah, profile we have given understand. Let's say profile is fine. Profile is fine. Now the sales manager should see what pro coding skills is created or not. Why? Let's say you and me having a same bank account, it means that because we are a customers in the same bank, can I able to access your account? Why? We are at same role, right? You understood? If it is in the same role, it means that whatever you are owning it, I should not able to access because I'm not an authorized person to access. Only when it is related to my subordinates, then I'm authorized. If we are in a parallel, then we shouldn't be having an access. These are parallel roles, right? They are at the same level. All accounts, you can see. Clear? Yep. Now, user is saying, one of my customer is saying, whenever I create any account, whenever I create an account, whenever I create an account with a rating equal to cold, with a rating equal to cold, there is a field called cold here, right? Yeah. When the rating equal to cold, then I should share these records to sales manager. I mean CEOs. Let's edit this. I'm taking off from a role hierarchy. Let's say I'm saying roles and I'm taking a COO. The role is COO. Okay. When it is cold, I need to share to because now the current user is COO is reporting to him, right? When it is rating equal to code, then I need to share. If the created by owner is CEO, and if the rating is equal to code, then I need to share to COO. How can I do that? Again, I need to go to sharing rules. Here you can see there is a account object you need to select, and below you can see account sharing rules. New rule label saying that cold accounts based on owner or based on criteria. Now it is based on criteria, right? Owner means owner is part of public group role, and this one I'll say based on criteria. I'll say rating equals cold. Then to whom I need to share? COO. COO. What type of access I need to give? Read only, read or write? Let me give as a read only, okay? And opportunity cases are private. I'm just saving it. Now I'll instead of this one, I'll make this as a code, and I'll make this as phone number 12345678990. Save. Website and company is missing. www.website.com. Website at company.site. Save. So now this record he should able to access. What is the record? Commercial regional account. Now log in. All accounts. Commercial region account. These are also in cold. Compulsory these things also will be in cold. Might be we updated one. These are the already created data which is in the format of code, rating equal to code. Let's check it out, even that. Details. Code, right? So only you are getting access there. And regional accounts. Details. Now I have edit button. Can I able to edit? Yeah, then we'll get that error. Save. Oops, you do not have necessary privileges to edit the record. See your administrator for help, right? This is something like this. But if it is in a classic, in this case, right, user will have a tendency that he modify the data in a hurry, right? Commercial reason account. In this, if you click edit, here itself will get an error. He doesn't let him to modify anything. Like after he modified all the fields, on click of save, if you get error, you feel bad, right? So now in classic, right, on click of this button itself, it just throws an error. It's not an advantage actually. So what happened in classic, it's a server side application. On click of button, it will send a request to server. It tries to read a access control. But in Lightning, which is already at a client side application, these buttons and everything available at a client side by default. If I click, it is not sending any request. On click of save, it is hitting server. That time it is understanding there is no access. Yeah, that's true. Save. It's a value add, and it also have a defect. Like the only concern for me is, right, I modify all the fields all the way, and then I'll click save, and I feel that oops, it's really oops. So you understood how the sharing is working from where you are implementing your sharing settings. Data security is implemented through, and object and system organization wide level security is implemented through through profiles. Through profiles. There are two types of security. One is metadata security. The other one is, yep.